Michael Razo has a beautiful and happy childhood. He uses his learnings and experiences to motivate others to share their positivity. So good morning, Michael.
Good morning.
Welcome to the show called Self-Made.
Thank you so much. So pleased to be here.
So what's your best advice then for the children, especially high school right now? How can they really find the niche in them?
One of the best pieces of advice that I was given is that your friends in high school, that's really not, they're not going to be your peers in the future, right? And so oftentimes as a teenager, you're really thinking that this is the end all be all. But overall, I think if I could encourage that young person who is in high school today is, don't look at where you are presently, look at where you want to be in the future. And every choice and every action and every environment and situation you find yourself in, make sure that you're making the decisions today that are going to ultimately be a springboard to allow you to become the person you want to be in the future, because that's what matters.
Continue that message. Like so many students right now, sometimes they commit suicide because they don't like to disappoint their parents.
Right.
So what's your best message to the students and the parents?
So first off, never give up, right? Again, there's a scripture that has, I even mentioned it earlier in the forum, do not despise the days of small beginnings. You have to start somewhere. And for those that may be discouraged, maybe they don't even have a good situation in terms of their home life, that does not define you. I have been privileged to know so many people throughout the years. They said, Mike, I'm not a product of my circumstances or my situation, I'm a product of my choices. So even having a very terrible situation, whether that's a home environment, maybe you didn't have the best home environment or you didn't have the best opportunity or education, everyone can be innovative. Everyone can look and begin to pray and say, what is it that I have? What's the skill set that I have, that I possess? Because every individual possesses something very unique that if they will tap into that and they commit themselves to perfecting that gifting or that skill set or whatever else, that can become a springboard whereby they can accomplish anything.
What did you love most about Filipinos?
Yeah, I think it's the people, obviously. It's the fact that they're so very hopeful, so very passionate about the future. And despite so many setbacks and circumstances, they're always looking, the Filipino people are always looking to say there is a brighter tomorrow, there is a brighter future and a brighter day ahead of us. And again, having a heart for the Filipino people, and then also having a heart for business and nation building, and with our focus in terms of ministry, it was really to marry those two things, right? To marry the business and investment, and to marry our heart for the Philippines in terms of nation building, and say, okay, as we're building this world-class city, and as we're developing payroll and providing infrastructure, which ultimately translates to amenities and office space and jobs, we're doing that. We're ultimately providing a means whereby Filipinos can have better jobs and a better future and a better life.
What should Pinoy improve?
I think we're already seeing the beginnings of that. We're seeing education really come to the forefront. Education is critical, right? Again, you know my heart for ministry, but the reality is that it's the old proverb that you can give someone a fish, but they go hungry again. If you teach them how to fish, then all of a sudden they now have a livelihood. And as much as I am for Helps Ministries and whatever else, I'm a huge proponent for education. Education, and also then for the government to really begin to affect policies and procedures that foster the growth of businesses, which fosters then payroll development, which means that there are job opportunities, and not just job opportunities, but higher paying job opportunities, to where Filipinos don't have to go abroad. They can stay here. They can stay here and take advantage of this tiger economy of Asia.
Do you consider yourself now, Mike, as a successful person?
By most metrics, people would say that Mike's a successful individual, right? Whether that's family, whether that's business, ministry, however those metrics may may say that I'm a success at this point in time, I think there's two things that really are important to me, and that is number one, maintaining an aspect of humility, and then maintaining an aspect of I've not arrived yet, right? Because what that does is two things. It keeps me very grounded,
Yes.
and it keeps me from going the way that so many others have gone, where they start believing their own press, and
Yes.
that becomes their downfall. So humility is incredibly important to me. And then the other thing is you haven't arrived yet. There's always room for improvement, right? We're always going from one glory to another glory, and as the scripture says. So I really want to make sure that I never say, "Oh, I'm a success," or "I've arrived," because the reality is that we've never truly arrived.
So what's next to Michael Russell?
Really stay the course at this point in time, right? And staying the course means to continue doing what we've been doing, and I'm hoping to we've got an incredible staff at Global Gateway Development Corporation, looking to add to that, because I'd love to be freed up and have a little more time to do some of those things that originally brought me to the Philippines, right? And to really use the platform that we have now to become a very key player in terms of nation building with respect to the Philippines' future.
So what's your best advice to our future investors, especially foreigners, to come and invest in the Philippines?
Okay. I would say that the time is right, the window is here, that there are a plethora of opportunities that I'm very happy to talk to. I mean, as you know, we entertain some of the largest investor groups in the world, and very, very happy to talk to them about the opportunities. So whether that is in services, whether that is in manufacturing, whether that is in agribusiness, you can name any industry and the opportunities are there. The Philippines is ripe. It's ripe for harvest. And for those who may be looking within Asia Pacific, I would say you need to look very, very hard at the Philippines, because in terms of the trajectory, now is the time that they need to be coming into the country in terms of investments.
Thank you very much.
Thank you so much.
Every success has its struggles. Every dream has its trials and tests. Listen to their stories, because if they did it, you can also be called self-made.